All right, so learning objective 5, 6. We're moving on. This is human resource management, gaining competitive advantage. Every video I try to reference it. McGraw-Hill, no, 13th edition. Just because I'm taking a few different courses and I want to try to keep everything straight. So a lot of these books look the same and topics intercross and intermingle. So, I'm just trying to make sure, say it in the beginning this way. If it's not what you're looking for, you can back out, save you some time. So you can find the right right one, because I definitely have a lot of videos up. So this is recruiters. The last part of the model presented in Figure 5.3 that we'll discuss is the recruiter. Many applicants approach the recruiter with some degree of skepticism. Knowing that it is in the recruiter's job to sell them on a vacancy, some applicants may discount what the recruiter says relative to what they have heard from other sources, like friends, magazine articles, and professors. Also, even before the COVID pandemic, but especially after, recruiters were increasingly meeting people online rather than face-to-face, which also blunts their impact. For these and other reasons, recruiters' characteristics and behavior seem to have less impact on applicant jobs choices than we might expect. Most organizations use both HR specialists and line managers when it comes to working with applicants. The HR specialist is an expert on employment at the company as a whole, and the line manager is best for sharing details about the exact nature of the work. Two traits stand out with applicants: reactions to other types of recruiter. The first is warmth, which reflects the degree in which the recruiter seems to care about the applicant and is enthusiastic about her potential to contribute to the company. The second characteristic could be called informativeness. In general, applicants respond more positively to recruiters who are perceived as warm and informative. In addition, timing seems to play a role as well, in the sense that recruiters have a bigger impact early in the job search process, but then give way to job and organizational characteristics when it comes down to the applicant's final decision. Perhaps the most well-researched aspect of recruiting deals with the level of realism that the recruiter incorporates into his message. Because the recruiter's job is to attract candidates, there is some pressure to exaggerate the positive features of the vacancy while downplaying the negative features. Applicants are highly sensitive to negative information. However, if the recruiter goes too far in a positive direction, the candidate can be misled and lured into taking a job under false pretenses. Many studies have looked at the capacity of realistic job reviews to circumvent this problem and help minimize early job turnover. On the whole, the research indicates what realistic job previews do lower expectations and can help reduce future turnover in the workforce. Certainly, the idea that one can go overboard in selling a vacancy to a recruit has merit. However, the belief that informing people about the negative characteristics of the job will totally inoculate them to such characteristics seems unwarranted, based on the research conducted to date. Thus, we return to the conclusion that an organization's decisions about personnel policies that directly affect the job's attributes, which are pay, security, advancement opportunities, and so on, will probably be more important than recruiter traits and behaviors in affecting job choice. So, that's interesting. They're basically saying that, it sounds like they're saying recruiters kind of can sometimes do more harm than good. They've been around for a while, so that, everything they said is true, and as somebody that has been on the job market and kind of getting their resume out there and working and networking, you can definitely tell the difference. It's not as bad as MLM, but you can definitely tell when somebody's trying to get a commission of recruits. So that does present a problem in human resources and trying to decide which direction and what professionals are needed, for the task. All right, so the next section is a look back, addressing labor shortages and surpluses, exploring your options. So it says, we open this chapter highlighting how the practice of offshore spiked and then declined as means of meeting a company's supply for labor. We also follow this up with a discussion of all the other available means for matching one's demand for labor with the supply of labor, and how to recruit workers from different sources. We also showed how some companies are relying on enhancing training, outsourcing, automation, immigration, and offshoring of work to stay competitive and survive. There are advantages and disadvantages to recruiting workers from different sources. We are highlighted the strengths and weaknesses of alternative methods for addressing the labor shortage or labor surplus. All right, that's the conclusion of Chapter 5. That's everything. We completed all our objectives. Now I will take a break. I will go back and review the major topics, objectives of each section, and I will then start the Chapter 5 practice assignment. I will take some of the questions. They have, I believe, about 100. I'm just going to work through them, and then after I do that, familiarize myself as I get them right or get them wrong, I'll go and kind of like check back against the book. I like to have a textbook to look at so I can do both. I don't know. I mean, you can switch screens doing PDF as well, but I use one hand to work the pages, one hand on my mouse, and that's how I do it. I'm old school, I guess. So, yeah, and then after that, I'm going to take the quiz, which is another 100-point quiz. So, big stakes with this professor. All right. I will probably have something else in a couple weeks. What am I fooling? It'll be sooner than that, but I'd say probably in a week I'll have the next chapters. Chapter 6 and 7, I believe, are what's coming up. We'll be doing a review of those, and I will get ahead and see, hopefully there'll be some progress in the channel setup and whatnot, and we'll be able to introduce more content and maybe even some other academic topics. All right.